Good afternoon, David.
Afternoon, David. How you doing?
No bad,
As if
yourself?
I didn't know. As if they say we've not been talking to each other before going online anyway. So there you are.
Well, we're going live anyway. We've been online all bloody afternoon. Okay. Anyway, numbers are climbing nicely.
Yeah.
Don't see any Facebook comments yet. I've been told that Facebook has been glitchy. And it's breaking up as the transmission is going through. I don't know what that's all about. I'm hoping it's sorting itself out because there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah.
You know. Anyway, let's have a look, see who's in so far. Hi, Gingers, earlier in America. Hi, Jeanette. Hi, Darcy. Mary Moo. Or is it DJ Marcy Moo? Sorry.
Any Scott Bryan.
Stephen Nichol.
Yeah.
Hello, Spanners. Oh, folks, I keep forgetting to mention, but there is an after show chat for those that are up late enough. It's at 10 o'clock at night, and Mad Monk 33 will put the link to the Discord live stream chat in the Facebook, in the YouTube comments at the end of the broadcast. Okay, but I keep forgetting to mention it. At 10 o'clock tonight, if I'm available, I'll be there to have a chat with you. Okay.
Carol, Evelyn, Ange. There's somebody called Ange on the Watchers.
Aye, on YouTube. I'm just saying.
Always reminds me of EastEnders. All right, Ange. Get out of my pub.
Hi, David. That's for Jane. Stephen. We're still not getting any Facebook comments yet, but hell, they might not be working again. Right, David. I suppose we better.
Yeah, I suppose we are. It's not good to begin with.
No.
So I warn everybody watching.
As you know, David, I attended the Hope Over Fear rally at the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And it gave me time, after seeing so many old friends and campaigners, to reflect on where we are as an independence movement at the moment.
Yeah.
And as I was standing in the square, I noticed some of the speakers. I don't go there to listen to these people. It's preaching to the converted, you know what I mean? And I was thinking about the speakers. We had Tommy Sheridan. We had Alex Salmond. We had Kenny MacAskill. And the leader of the Independence for Scotland Party. I'm sorry, I can't remember the last name. I think it was Colette something. But anyway, I was just thinking to myself while I was standing in amongst these people I've been campaigning with for over a decade, that this is a fucking tribute act. Yeah. And the people they call politicians on that stage are irrelevant today. Thank you, Duncan. Thank you. I said they're totally irrelevant today. I mean, yep. Mr. Salmon's been a private citizen for the best part of, 7 years? Yeah. 2017 he lost his seat.
Yep.
Kenny MacAskill, he's just lost his seat, but he's never that relevant anyway. You know, and then Tommy Sheridan. The kids.
Yeah, Kenny MacAskill joined the Alba Party because Alexander was his pal.
I'm not interested. Right, I'm talking about the relevance of these people today.
Yeah.
And we think about the amount of young voters today coming on a decade for when these people were heading up this movement. These people are now irrelevant to the young voter of today. The young voter of today won't even have heard of Tommy Sheridan.
True.
And the other thing I can say about Saturday was there was no young people there. They were the very same people we were campaigning with in the west of Scotland 10 years ago. 12 years ago, up to 10 years ago, 10 years ago in 2 days. Right, on the 18th. So as I say, I've had a chance, I've been reflecting on where we are as a movement. And as you say, you've been looking at some of the stuff that John Swanee's been saying, you've seen what Tommy Shippert had to say, and I was listening to what these guys had to say. And Now, according to you, what you were telling me the Leslie Riddoch interview with John Swinney was, he says it's after Kirsty 2030, 2 parliamentary.
Yeah, it's he's on about process and all that sort of thing, you know, and it's a waste of time. John Swinney is a waste of time. I read the article purely simply to get what Leslie's take on it was.
Aye.
And at the end of it, if any of you get a chance to read it, Leslie leaves you with a question. And if you answer no, then a resounding no, then you're on my side.
Well, the thing is, Bob, right? We have no leadership. We have no direction. We have an infrastructure.
Yeah.
We have core grassroots. We have a core grassroots movement which is strong and exists.
Yeah.
There's still a whole network of yes hubs right around Scotland and things like that.
What we've got left is a core. That's what we've got, is a core. And you're actually talking, I believe, because of a recent poll has come out, 24% of the people that are the real core indie campaigners are just what we've got, 24%. We add on to that an extra, say, 25, 26%, and that makes the yes campaign, the yes route of all the different campaigners, right? That's why it's never got very much above the 50%. What we need to do now is wait and see what's coming down the line in October.
Well, we'll get to that in the next section.
Yeah.
You know.
But it's at the moment it is sad, really, really sad.
I'm going to knock this in the heads right now with this nonsense. Right? Wasn't impressed but not wrong one. That one. I bet Sal will get us out before the politicians do. I'm going to take. I'll take that bet with you, Stephen. I'll tell you why. Because we interviewed Sarah Sawyers, and we interviewed Mark McNaught, the constitutional expert.
Yeah.
And they all agree there's going to have to be a democratic event. That means politicians. So I'll take that bet. And I'll take that bet with anybody who keeps trying to tell me that one of these groups is a way out.
Yeah, it's not.
Because when you speak to these groups, they'll tell you, no, there's going to have to be an event, a democratic event.
Yeah.
All these groups tell you the same thing.
And by democratic event, what they mean is an election.
Or a referendum.
Yeah. A referendum.
Whatever. Apparently.
All right.
I don't know why that is you, because it's shown as being there.
Yeah.
Yep. It's definitely there. Anyway, so the state of the movement is we don't have any leadership.
Yep.
Tommy Shepherd says we need to start again. John Swinney's talking about process of starting again.
And leading to 2030.
But,
the poll that we've had come through the doors on the national newspaper, who quote them, the 3 polls from the 11th to today give us 24% want an independence referendum straight away, 32% do not. But then when we add on the people who would wish an independence referendum by 2030, by an extra 18%, which means that we've now got over 50% want independence, but not at the moment. Okay.
24 and 18 makes 42.
Yeah, that's right, and the other side's 32.
So we've got a percentage of people who just don't care one way or another.
Yeah.
A slice of pink birthday cake with purple icing on the candle. Thank you very much, Kevin. I didn't know it was your birthday. Happy birthday. Hey, right, Labour for Change, David. We're rapidly approaching this budget. We're about to find what that change means, especially for Scotland. You know, because this is going to really tell us how much pressure there will be on the public services here in Scotland.
They're losing members hand over fist at the moment.
Yes.
The reason they're losing members hand over fist is because really you had people that were hoping that Labour were going to win this time at Westminster. They did win. Now what they've got is they've got a Labour Party that is basically doing the same damage to the people of Scotland as the Tories did. So therefore, these people are getting really jaded about it and are saying, "No, you keep your membership. Off I go."
No, but as I say, we'll find out what this Labour for Change means. We do know that people are angry.
Yeah.
We know that the people are angry here in Scotland are the two-child cap.
Yeah.
We know they're angry over and want a fuel allowance, but they're trying to blame that on the Scottish government here because it comes through as part of the Barnet and they hand it out. You know. But as we have discussed on this programme before, and as West Streeton has made it clear before they became members of government, that these are devolved administrations. When it comes to funding for everything, all roads lead to Westminster.
Yeah. Yep.
All roads.
And I think you need to keep that in mind. You need to remember that all the time.
Now that will be interesting, Stephen, if Corbyn sets up a new left-wing party. Because that will split Labour right down the middle.
Oh yeah. But it wouldn't necessarily split it down the middle. Might even split it further than that. And give Corbyn the biggest lump of Labour MPs you can imagine, you know.
We'll get to Starmer no different to Bojo shortly, Stephen. Sorry, Andy, Brian. We won't get to that, honestly, I promise you. Right, Public Finance Minister Ivan McKee believes there's a buyer out there for Grangemouth oil refinery.
I hope he's right.
You know.
But I look at what Inglis and what Jim Ratcliffe are up to at the moment. They now have gone up towards the end of this year, 29% of Manchester United. They're looking for money to get in and get, if you like, controlling interest of Manchester United, right? The people that own Manchester United might have a different idea, because to them, Manchester United is just pocket change.
One thing's for sure, he is trying to bring in some money. He is selling up assets, you know,
yeah.
And that is all to do with the football thing. Now, but as I say, now, Public Finance Minister Ivan McKee, he tells us that he's working with the UK government and there are two bidders at this point in time. But it's all down to whether any of us want to sell the asset or they just want to shut it down.
Inglis and Jim Ratcliffe might want to sell off their percentage purely and simply to get more leverage with Man United.
Yep, we get that, David. We do get that. We all get that. That's the whole reason why he's apart from the money he was given to build the new refinery in Belgium by the UK government, 500 million quid. But we know that he's offloading assets because he's bought a percentage share of Man United, and he intends to buy more until he's the majority shareholder. But you know, if he'll probably have to liquidise the whole of Ineos to do that.
Yeah.
Because the Yanks that own it right now want a lot of money because Man United's in a lot of debt, and they're carrying that debt on their shoulders. You know. So, as I say, but apparently there's a couple of bidders out there. One's a Arab Emirates conglomerate. Sort of makes sense. These people know about the industry. And the other one...
It's a Qatar. It's a
Qatari.
Yeah, Qatari. Yeah.
And the other one, I think, is a Chinese interest or something like that, a Far East interest. Yeah. So, a wee bit of hope for the people out there that they'll keep the refinery open. You seem to think Jim Radcliffe will back down the last minute because it is turning a huge profit. Yeah. It is turning a huge profit, the place.
And you might have ideas of owning a football club like Man United, but you ain't going to turn that from a lump of lead into a lump of gold overnight.
No. And Carol, you're right, 600 million to destroy Scotland's refinery business. The taxation's the reason behind it. The taxation's the reason behind it. Doesn't it touch Scotland? But it doesn't count as tax against Scotland. But as I say, it also means that we are totally reliant on the RUK and the international markets for fuel, which is an absolute fucking comedy. An absolute comedy. It's no longer Scotland's oil, by the way, folks. Right, the next one's a report where the NHS is getting a bashing again. This week's figures for A&E say only 67.4% were seen within the 4 hours, David, which is as low as it's been for a while. Although last week apparently was 66.4. Now, Finance, the Health Minister Neil Gray was interviewed by the BBC and asked if the NHS was in crisis. He said no. He says, you people are like the people who think it's in crisis, but most people who interact with the NHS get a good service. There are pressures in the A&E at the moment, but this new strain of COVID's run the savvy apparently. So A&E is under pressure. But what Neil goes on to say is, like, if we look at things like cancer care and that here in Scotland, 95% satisfaction with cancer care in Scotland, and the speed at which it's delivered. If we look at other parts of the NHS, like Sarah's been interacting with the NHS a lot lately because of her age and her health. Never a wait. Even when we've been A&E, we've never waited 4 hours.
Yeah, well, A&E, it's easy to complain about A&E. You get into A&E on a weekend, right? You get drunk, you fall down up on the street, and it's like you skint knee, you're in the A&E. My goodness me, you're going to wait to the bottom of the line. Simple as that. Till eventually they see you. So it's easy to complain about A&E. Once you're getting treated by the NHS, different matter. Aye.
Once you get through the entrance system, because that is where the problem is. And as DJ Marcy Moose just said, COVID is running a savvy. Folks, you can still get the figures. They're putting them out weekly, but you can get them region by region, and it'll let you know how prevalent it is in your region.
Yeah.
At this point in time, I think 1 in 20 here in North Lanarkshire have got it.
Yeah.
You know, it's very high. Carol said the great service for the Golden Jubilee. The Golden Jubilee is one of the finest facilities on the planet. So is the QE. So is the old Southern General, the new
Southern General. That's right.
But with the drink death total, and apparently it's on the rise. It's went up by one person since last year. Now it goes up and down by 1 or 2 or 3 people each year, because, well, let's face it, we do have a problem with drink here in this country. It's cold, it's wet, it's damp, it's fucking miserable. So at night time, people put their feet up and have a half.
That's
After
right.
8 to 10 days, 8 to 10 hours on the grind. You know, unless
And the only problem that they have with booze is when they see the work in the glass and they go, hang on, I need a refill. There you go.
And Lukeson had a problem the last time, 7 hours in the A&E. To say, this new strain of COVID is running a savvy, and the A&E's under as much pressure now as it would be in the winter normally when we have the normal flus and colds problems. So you're compounding all these things. And the other thing is, we're finding people are still picking up daft infections by the times when they had masks on and we're living in sterile environments. I mean, school kids are running out. School kids, the schools are just like big petri pots again, you know?
Yeah.
But according to the BBC, our health service is in crisis, but they're only talking about one part of the health service. One part, and that's the accident emergency. As I say, as the health minister points out, there's a wee backlog there. There is. They're very busy, but once you're in, as you say, David, once you're through the doors and onto the wards, the service is brilliant.
But it alters. It goes up and down and up and down and up and down, and it's like I cannot tell you how many people are going to become ill. I can't point to anybody in the SNP that's going to tell me how many people are going to become ill.
No.
So why is that pointed at the SNP?
They wake up and smell the rosemary. He's just getting over whooping cough. Caught it at school. She's a teacher.
Oh,
there you go.
Yeah.
As I say, there's all sorts of infections from the savvy out there, and they have been ever since we came out of this lockdown. And I think they do.
How's Will doing? Well, personally, to be honest with you, I never spend a great deal of time looking at how Wales is doing because I want to Scotland that we both back. So sorry.
The only virus in Scotland is Ewan's Ewan's disease. Right, so we'll have a wee look and see what the papers have got to say today, David.
Oh yes, always good for a laugh.
Right, today's papers, the Sun goes with bid number 2 to kill Trump. Trump safe after shots fired at Clump. That's the Scotsman. The Telegraph has Trump targeted by gun on golf course. That was the Telegraph. The Times, Trump targeted again in attempted assassination. But what do you make of this, David? This Trump story, and somebody else apparently said a pop at him.
Right. And one thing you said, which showed massive insight, was here we have a country or a part of the country where gun ownership is second to none, right?
Yep.
And yet they're all horrible shots.
Unless,
of course, that guy was pointing at his bloody ear, right? And or this guy that tried to shoot him was shooting actually at the sky, right?
I really don't know, but what I do know is that that's 2 for 2 that I've missed. For a country where every Tom, Dick and Harry has a gun and there's a range in every corner, why fuck they're bad shots?
Yeah.
You know?
So,
I mean, that's all I've got to say about this story, but let's take a wee bit, let's put a wee bit skin on the bones for the viewers, shall we? Try and be professional here. Right.
Go on then.
Apparently this guy
Thanks, Alistair.
This guy who allegedly tried to assassinate Trump was 58-year-old Ryan Weasley Root. Though law enforcement officers have not officially named him, and there was no immediate indication of a motive. His son, Orrin Root, repeatedly said he has not been able to immediately speak to his father or get information about the accusation against him.
First off, he hasn't officially been named.
No.
The police haven't named him, right? No. So, in other words, what's happened is either it's somebody in the Trump campaign or something like that that's named an individual,
Well,
No,
this is
it's not law.
Anyway, according to this guy's son, his father's a great supporter of Ukraine, and he didn't fancy Trump in Ukraine because he thinks Trump was going to throw Ukraine over to Russia.
But he doesn't know that.
Well, it's the boy's son that the Guardian are talking to. All right, it's a Guardian report.
Yeah.
Now, to me, I don't even know if anybody shot at him, or whether, as you say, somebody was running about the golf course with a gun shooting a road sign or something like that. There's a lot of that goes on earlier.
No, it could have been angry and just held the gun up and fired at the sky. Right?
Anyway, interesting story.
Yeah.
And it's covered by 1, 2, 3, 4 of the papers here in Scotland, although most of them are printed outside Scotland, as you know, or owned outside Scotland. Now the Herald.
Ginger's Giraffe actually said he didn't get a shot off. How can that be an attempt?
Aye, well, as I say, Gingers, you'll be more out of it than we are. We're not getting the reports as they were this morning, you know.
Thanks, Lorraine. Did you miss the one from Alistair?
Aye, I know. I'm sorry about that, Alistair. I will enjoy your holiday, Lorraine. Really enjoy your holiday. I'll scroll back for Alistair. But anyway, I see the Trump story is an interesting one. Did anybody actually take a pot shot at him? Ginger says no, and she lives in America.
Well, somebody else says it was the Secret Service shooting, not the accused dude.
As I say, you're off to Portugal, Lorraine, to visit your son. Enjoy the trip. Enjoy the visit. As I say, I don't know the truth of the matter. 2 attempts on Trump. He's failing in the polls. He needs to muster his core. Yeah, sounds a wee bit dodgy to me.
Aye, just a bit to me.
And the Herald there, they've got a cracking headline today. What an insight these Muppets have got. What about you, this one? Tory cutting child support, a catastrophic failure. Tell us something we don't fucking know. It's driven 4 million kids into poverty, and the Herald thinks this is front page news.
We knew this last year. We had reported on this last year.
Yeah, you know. And we've even reported on the fact that keeping the 2-child cap's going to put another 250,000 children into poverty this bloody year.
Yeah.
And that's what the Herald has for news. Wow. Right, the record goes on Irvine Welsh on Indy anniversary. Voting no was a disaster. 10 years on, and Scotland's like a third world country. I'll tell you what, if Scotland's like a third world country, fucking hate to see what England looks like right now.
Exactly.
We've got the highest average wage in the UK at the moment. The lowest bloody council tax. The lowest. If you're one of the lower earners under £28,000, you pay lower income tax. You know, we're housing cheap.
Water, or should I say, shite, which is processed and then turned into water, and then turned into shite again.
So we'll get clean water. You know, as I say, we don't pay for medicines. Healthcare spree at point of need. where real prices are on average, even we peak return fares, returning.
Yeah.
Their real prices are on average 4% cheaper.
Yeah.
We have no road tolls. Our children travel free on buses.
Yeah.
If this is a third world country, I fucking hate to see England. I'm glad that we live there. Well, anyway, Irvine Welsh, he says it was a disaster to vote no. But one thing's right for Irvine. Get another decade in Scotland and England will be third world fucking countries.
Yeah.
Because these people that they keep being voted for are economic illiterates.
And what we've got to do is we've got to make sure that, fair enough, the people of Scotland feel the pain, which means that when we point out where the real pain is coming from, that they will actually end up becoming yesers. And that means then that we have more than fair chance of getting a referendum or a plebiscite election.
Joan Cuthbert fell and broke her hip within 10 minutes of ambulance being called. They were at the door. My daughter arrived afterwards, had to break in the door, was whipped to hospital and operated on next day. Great service. Right, that's generally how it goes.
Wonderful, John. And I hope you're okay now.
Scotland is in for a wake-up call, but maybe that wee boy in the 19th of September 2014, it was absolutely correct. He'll slap it into them.
Yeah.
You know, £2 super chat for Alistair. Before Brexit, 20 medicines short. Now we have 160 medicines short. Aye, there's more to come, believe me. Wait to see when the food shortage is hitting off. Hi, Larry. Hey. Right. So what else? The national independence is dead is wishful thinking, says Blair Jenkins.
Now, Blair Jenkins was like John Swinney. He's a nice guy.
Aye.
He led up the Yes campaign, and at the time we were saying, this guy hasn't got a chance because it needs someone from the leading party to actually go in and shoot from the hip. You can't do that if you're in a position that.
And a world where politicians are up against assassination attempts, I think we'll do trap shoot from the hip, shall we? What you mean is you want somebody who's straight talking, David.
Shooting from the hip. It's a vernacular. All right. Okay.
I know that. But in current circumstances, you don't like social media bloody editors, because that's what we have to.
Right.
Just need somebody to make a complaint about you talking about shooting politicians, and this whole programme will disappear. we need
yeah. I don't want that to happen. I do not want that.
We need a straight talker.
Yeah, straight talker. Yeah.
Right. Anyway, as I say, Blair is a nice guy.
Yeah.
You and I have both met him, David.
Yeah.
A really nice guy. He led the Yes campaign. Got as close, but not quite there. Yeah. Anyway, he's telling the National that if anybody thinks independence is dead, that's wishful thinking. The genie's out the bottle, it's not going back in. It isn't getting back in, but it's all about rebuilding now.
That's
but
right.
as I said, the infrastructure is there.
You are never going to do anything with John Swinney as leader of the SNP. You're going to need the SNP, but you need the SNP with a leader with teeth. Now, we both talked about Mr. Flynn, the Hitman, as I nicknamed him, right? Because he's bald head. He would be brilliant for the job. He really would. Stephen Flynn would be brilliant for the job. There are others. So let's just see what comes through. For the moment, you'd rather John Swinney.
You're right, Helen. The only one we've had as a leader so far that was going to take him on since Alex Salmond is
Yeah.
Can't argue with that.
Alex Salmond at the time was perfect because he understood the Westminster system better than any other politician in the place.
No, it didn't work, but did it? Anyway, the Daily Express goes on. What a disgrace! Starmer taking fuel help from the disabled, and this is a report on the amount of these pensioners that are going to lose their fuel supplement who are actually disabled. You know. So, and the Scottish Daily Mail goes on. Why can't millionaire Starmer buy their own votes? We'll get a wee bit more of that when we get on to the next section.
Yeah.
And the eye has PM set sight on Italian-style migration deal to tackle small boats. But we'll get to that in the next section. Okay, so moving on down that road, David. Starmer is in Italy, which was the headline in the last piece. Starmer is in Italy to learn about Italian system of irregular migration, they're calling it. The Italian system to deal with irregular migration. Now, wait, you hear this one, folks. This one's going to crack you right up. Right, thanks very much, Alexis.
Thanks.
A bit late, sorry, I'm on the naughty step. That's all right. We've got a cushy, we've got a comfy chair up there now. You're all right. We're fine on the naughty step. I've done that. There's not been a candle burning for a while, so your arse is fine. One of pure lines for pensioners. The pensioners could use MP constituents' offices as warm banks. Sounds like a plan. Anyway, folks, to let you know about this Italian system he's talking about, remember Rwanda? Where the idea was you picked them up in their small boats and then you shipped them to Rwanda to be processed.
Right, but no, you've fly them to Rwanda.
Fly them to Rwanda to be processed.
Yeah.
Well, did they? Well, they want to get processed in Rwanda. But apparently the system that Starmer's looking at is the Italian system, where they pick them up and rescue them at sea, and then they ship them to Albania to be processed. And they pay the Albanian government to process them.
Now, what's the process?
I have no bloody idea.
What, do they shoot them?
Oh, obviously, they follow the immigration papers, what country you want to go to, things like that, to make your application. That way, I presume. But so Starmer's not wanting to send them to Rwanda anymore. He wants to send them to Albania.
Yeah.
This guy's not got an original thought in his head, has he?
No.
Him and Rachel Reeves have been carefully selected by the financial sector and the state to be the status quo.
Yeah, you're absolutely spot on the nail when you say he doesn't have a clue.
None.
He doesn't have any unique thought whatsoever.
He's another Alex Cole Hamilton. He's a stuff shut.
Yeah.
So, Starmer's idea to stop with the boats is to appoint an ex-police chief to head the border force and to ship them to Albania as opposed to shipping them to bloody Rwanda. I guess
so we've had the actual crew that really deal with immigration. Yeah, the immigration authority, right? Yeah, they've dealt with them. We've had the armed forces.
We've got a Navy supposed to go into the back.
And now we're going to have a police force.
Oh, we'll get an ex-chief constable taking out the head of the border force. And when the border force round these people up, apparently they're going to be taken to airplanes and flown to Albania to be processed. Oh.
I just...
Is it just me? I can see how confused you are here, Rwanda, Albania. I guess it's going to do with air miles. Maybe we're cutting down the amount of pollution.
We are never, ever going to see the situation where these people lift off of an airport because they're going to be in the same pickle they were as the Conservatives were with Rwanda, because all that happen is it'll get taken to court. Some of that.
See, as I say, this ex-police chief to tackle small boats, former police chief Martin Hugh has been appointed to lead the UK's new Border Security Command, which will focus on tackling small boat crossings.
Yep.
Oh, and that's just as bad as, I mean, the Tory leadership down that road, they're down to 4 now. And they're just as fucking mental, And all he's done is took the Rwanda policy and changed it for an Albania policy.
Yeah.
Let's move on. As we know, so far since Labour came to government, in the 10 or 12 weeks of being in government, scandal has been rife. This has been as bad as the Boris Johnson government, to be honest.
Yeah.
We've had cash for access, cash for access. We've had jobs for the boys. Now we've had cash for clothes. Now, apparently, Sir Keir Starmer could be reported to the Standards Committee for no declaring Baron Wahid Ali 18 grand for buying his wife's clothes before and after the election.
Yeah.
Now, apparently, Starmer approached the committee where he's supposed to declare all these things, and he's asked to make an amendment because he didn't know that he had to declare that Wahid Ali had spent 18 grand on clothes for his wife.
Right. He didn't know that he had to declare that stuff.
Of course
he knew he had to discover it.
This is a guy that's been handpicked by the financial sector and the state to take care of just swapping the cheeks of the arse. He's been carefully selected. He knows the inside out of what the rules are doing there. And he used them to lean on Sir Lindsay Hoyle, if we remember, when it came to the Gaza vote for the SNP.
Yeah.
He knows everybody tracking the book. So, being referred to the Standards Committee would be fair enough. But you know what's going to happen? They'll accept it was just an oversight on his part because he did report it himself. Right, see that Hugh Edwards gets a 6 months suspended sentence for pleading guilty of accessing child sex images online. Edwards also reproduced some of these images, which were sent to him by convicted paedophile Alex Williams. And it doesn't tell us where this guy Williams is, but apparently he sent these pictures to Hugh Edwards through WhatsApp, and Hugh Edwards reproduced some of them and moved them on. Now he's got 6 months suspended sentence. When I was looking at the article, I didn't see anything saying how long he was going to be in the sex offenders register for. But if this guy wasn't such a prominent figure, do you think he'd have got more? If that had been just Joe Vlogs, who lives 3 doors down from me, who get caught with 49 images of children between 13 and 15 having sex, and somebody almost 17 having sex, do you think he'd have got more here? Joe Vlogs.
I think. Oh, sorry, I've got an echo there, David. I think that Joe Blogg would have got a lot more.
I think Joe Bloggs would have went to jail.
Because ends up that if you've got money, you don't serve such a long sentence. Something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Let's move on. David Lammy was having talks with the Ukrainian government about allowing them to use UK missiles, medium-range missiles to fire into Russia. But we know now that because Starmer's talked to Biden and Biden says no, then permission will not be given for Ukraine to use UK weapons to fire into Russia, which is a bit of a relief. Because Putin had threatened to wipe us off the face of the map. And if Putin was going to make a strike anywhere, it would be this island. Make no mistake on this, folks. If Putin had to make a marker anywhere, it would be this island. And once he'd hit this island, he'll want to retaliate and go after Russia. They would go, oh, sorry, that wee island's gone. We better sit down and talk before more people are gone. So the mere fact that Starmer and Lammy were talking between this guy, medium-range missiles to fire into Russia, it just shows you how crazy, batshit crazy these people are.
I think what they want to do is they want to impress the EU.
It's more Russia.
It depends on their audience, right? The audience is the EU, and they know fine well they're not going to get back into the EU or going to get any concession from the EU unless they play the military card. This is
Yeah, that was my missus. That was David's missus that was shouting in the background. No, but what's interesting about this comes right after Starmer has tied us to US foreign policy and defence policy, including the nuclear arsenal. And as you know, David, the US have been moving nuclear weapons back into West Germany. And there's talk about them bringing them back here and all. Anybody want to be? Hey, here's a blast for the past. Anybody want to go to Greenham Commons for a protest?
That's right. I mean, the Americans denied for year upon year that they had anything at Greenham Common.
I know.
And eventually the protests became too much. And then eventually it was all leaked.
Oh, an interesting fact just popped up, David. The amount of pensioners who should be who could claim a pension credit who don't, 948,000. That's almost another million people that would get that winter fuel allowance if they were made aware of the fact that they qualify for pension credit.
But it's too late. Today's the date that
the decision's made. Yep, and after today, even if they claim pension credit after the day, they'll not get it until next year.
That's right.
So, aye, you're absolutely correct. I just thought I'd throw that one in there.
It's a wee bit unfair. There's not a lot of people of that sort of age and above, the pension age and above, where they don't know whether it's New York or New Year, right? And to say they haven't claimed, that maybe they don't realise, and there's nobody there to make them realise. And the system is not geared up so that it lets them know. In Scotland, I believe we do have such a system whereby they do let you know through one means or another, but certainly in England they don't. And it's wrong. It's wrong. It's simply wrong.
Sure, they be saying Newland, wherever Newland is, Newland all over the net saying the West stop peace in Ukraine. We know that. There was a deal on the table. Boris Johnson was the one that scuppered it. The deal was that he would take over Donetsk, that Putin would take over the Donetsk region for 7 years, and then the people would have a vote on whether they wanted to be Russian or Ukrainian. And that they stopped all this bloodshed.
Yeah.
No. But anyway, what's the latest in Ukraine? Right, no new pledge on Ukraine missiles after Starmer Biden talks. As we were just talking about, Lammy was talking about allowing them to use UK medium-range missiles. After talks between Starmer and Biden, they've decided not to arm the Ukrainians. Russia and Ukraine apparently have exchanged 206 prisoners. Ukrainians are now warning of being surrounded as Russia advances in the east. Russia have expelled 6 British diplomats for spying, and Putin draws new red line on long-range missiles. So that's the latest.
Basically, what's going to happen is Putin's response on that is he's going to aim a missile, and it'll fly across Britain, and it'll land in the sea, just at the other side. And it'll just be to say, "There you go, Mr. Lammy. That's what you're going to end up with."
Well, listen, you better hope the guy that's programming that gets his coordinates fucking right then, eh? If you want
Correct. Yeah. It'd be like North Korea, South Korea.
Aye.
What they're doing is when they're throwing missiles about, they always end up just at the other side of Japan.
Aye.
That's it.
But anyway, as I say, Starmer in the time that he's been has now tied us to US foreign and military policy, including on nuclear, which basically means that we are now the US is a lapdog, really. But as I say, for Ukraine, that's That's the roundup for Ukraine, except for the fact that the Russian claims start of fight back in Kurs region. Start! They've taken half it back already. Wow. Let's have a look and see what's going on. UN Gaza aid chief wilderness failing innocent civilians, David. And that's the story that no justice or hell raining down on these people in the Gaza Strip from above. Because there's no longer any medical infrastructure, illness is killing more civilians now. Took a wee bit longer than I thought it would, but it's now killing more civilians now than what there is
look at polio. Polio's raised its head again,
yep.
right? And that'll start to rip through the population, which a lot of children.
Yep.
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine?
And mortality is shot right up, and a mother deaths as well. For eclampsia is called, isn't it? That's shot right up, and saying all the Victorian diseases are back because of water contamination and all that sort of thing. So diphtheria and things like that, And what they're saying is that the world has failed the people of Gaza, and it's appalling.
Correct. Yes. Yes.
Now, and Israel vows heavy price for Houthi missile strikes as the Houthis manage to break through the Iron Dome, that they call it. The missile protection system they've got.
Patriot system.
And is it the US Patriot system they use, is it?
Yeah.
Anyway, and Israel Special Forces raid missile site in Syria. UN says Israel strike Gaza school killed 6 of UN staff. And Israel strike in Gaza humanitarian zone kills 19. And what it says here is Hamas-run health ministry says, why doesn't that say Palestinian or Gazan-run health service?
Because Hamas was actually run as a political party by the Israeli government. It was actually paid for. And it was paid for to create an opposition to the PLO.
Aye, we know that, aye.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, it's like people are getting rather confused over this. And I realise why they're getting confused. At the moment, it's the only thing to keep your head on is the fact that these poor people, no matter who they are, no matter who they vote for, if they didn't vote, it's like they're in a hell of a situation. They really are. And the whole world should hang its head in shame.
No half. As I say, the other thing is satellite images show how Israel are putting key infrastructure back into Gaza after they've flattened all their accommodation.
Oh, aye. Yeah.
So that would basically mean, David, that they already know that the colonisation of the Strip is about to happen.
Oh, yeah. But we knew that right back months ago.
Aye.
But the one question that still remains is this river, if you like, that runs to the right-hand side of the Red Sea, being blasted open by the Americans. And it seems like they're going to use nuclear weapons to do it. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to build a canal using nuclear weapons to blast?
Yep.
That'd be fucking unusual.
Yep. Oh, it was talked about years ago. But anyway.
That's what we've got for you today. And harsh for his stumbles, I agree with you. John isn't in the road of independence, he just isn't plotting a route to it.
Yeah.
And if you don't plot a route and give the people guidance, then you don't get to your destination. John's a good administrator, David and I will admit that. He's a good administrator, but that's what he is. My local Tesco's got a good manager. He's a good administrator.
Yeah.
Something like that. Right, that's what we'll go for you today, folks. I want to thank the mods. I want to thank everybody for their kind contributions to the Food Bank / Baby Bank Fund. And Reagan a week. Folks, Reagan a week will probably be broadcasting later on, so give a wee tune in. I'll be at work listening. So thanks to mod. Thanks to everybody who's watched in large numbers. We're up at 196 peak viewers this time round. I know there was more on Facebook, but they're not coming through. I've not got the comments through again. I'll need to take Facebook out and re-add it and see if that sorts the problem back out. But don't want to lose the Facebook audience, David. Did you know that wee video I did on Saturday for Hope Over Fear? It made me view 1,600 times.
Yeah, but as we did say, it could be people looking for information on Hope Over Fear that were coming online.
No, generally every time I do a wee live for an event, David, it hits that sort of thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyways, I say, that's it. Look after each other, folks.
And that just leaves me to say, bye, Dave. Bye, guys.
And that just leaves me to say, Hugh, Mad Monk 33, mind to put the link to the after show chat in Discord. Folks, after show chat, 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock to whenever. Okay. I might be a wee bit late getting there, but I will get there. So if you want to join us at 10 o'clock tonight for a chat, or just after 10 o'clock tonight for a chat, Hugh, if you can moderate until I arrive, I've got a busy night, and then when I arrive, I'll come in and say hello to folk. That's it, but that just leaves one thing for me to say, David. Bye, Davey.
Bye, Dave. Bye, guys.
Bye, folks.